Today I just want to talk about stuff I don't frankly know a lot about, but I do like it. And sometimes you don't need to know an awful lot about things to still like it. And what I find myself doing is then looking at it and trying to sort of dissect what I'm looking at and sort of see the elements that are sort of coming through to me. If you come and have a closer look at this, it's just a really funky. I personally think it's Edwardian. So that would be a period from sort of turn of the last century up until about the First World War. And it's one of those things that it must have been an advertising aid for the non-creasable rubber-lined neckties. I've Googled it, and to be honest with you, you can't find much about rubber-lined neckties. But it's kind of just a lovely little bit of imagery, isn't it? You've got this guy, he's got spats on, he's quite dapper, he's got his bowler hat down here and a cane. And this little impish child pulling on the tyre, and he's saying here, don't worry, it's rubber lined. And I think, you know, as a composition, it's just beautiful. And adding to it, you've got this lovely use of colours that really are truly representative of that sort of autumnal range of colours that you had around sort of 1910 to the First War. So these are oranges and browns. I particularly like the brown on the top with the cream lettering. Of course, this is all embossed, so all of the lettering stands out with a black shadow on it that is so subtle. You know, today we feel we've got to shout with everything, and that is really, really very subtle. I'm just going to flick it around so you can look at the back of it, because in some way the back of it is really as beautiful as the front, because you've got this lovely embossing there, and you've got the outlines of things, and the age and the history and everything that it's been subject to over the 100 odd years it's been around. So it's a lovely, lovely thing. I'm guessing here, and this is just a guess, at the bottom it's got the word Ticehurst, and Ticehurst is a...
Is it Kent or Sussex?
It's on the border. I'm not sure whether we get in Wadhurst. It's sort of...
Yeah.
It probably is Kent, but Kent-Sussex border. And it looks like there was another name here, but I can't work out what it was. I got this from a gentleman who ran 2 or 3 family-run gentlemen's outfitting shops around East Sussex, in Lewes, in Upfield, and thereon. So it's sort of one of those things that I don't know much about it, and in fact I don't need to know much about it. I know I like it. I like the condition. I'm sort of... The Japanese have this word, I think, wabi-sabi, which is slightly sort of rusty and old metal, you know, and things that are not perfect. And there is a beauty in this lack of perfection. If it was the perfect sign, it wouldn't represent the life that sign has had. And I look at it and I think of the shop that it hung in, the people who must have looked at it and smiled. And I'm guessing pretty soon after the First World War, it was pretty much redundant, yet people have had enough wisdom to hold on to it and look after it. It's rare. I've Googled it. There's a company called, what are they called, Anna?
Welsh Dragon Tyres.
Welsh Dragon Tyre Company, and they've got quite a few enamel signs.
Yeah, their workshop looks lovely.
Yeah, it does. This slightly differs from enamel because it's not an enamel as such. I think it's a painted finish, and it's an embossed sign rather than an enamel, which is, I think, painted as glass and stuff. Anyway, so there we go. The non-creasable rubber-lined neckties.
And just you and Welsh Dragon Tyres, as far as we know, who've got one.
Yeah, if you know anything about it, let us know. I think it's just fabulous.
It's quite sad in a way to think of all those young men who might have bought one and then fallen in the war.
Yeah, I know. But well, they wouldn't have been really. They couldn't even wear their rubber-lined neckties, could they? Yeah, lovely thing. So there we are, gents. That's what we're talking about today.